to Texas. You are on historic, hallowed ground. 175 years ago, your ancestors, your family, your friends, and all Texians came to this place, this noble place, to make sure that Texas became an independent and free nation. You should be proud to be here today. It was a battle that nobody said could be won by the Texians. But the cynics were wrong then, as they continue to be wrong today.
Mama, can you hand me a ball?
It did not start here. It started in 1835 when the dictator of Mexico, Santa Anna, decided to abolish the Mexican Constitution of 1824. And after he abolished the Constitution, which required or allowed people of this area of Texas and Mexico to have a constitution of freedom and individual liberty, he made himself dictator. And that irritated folks that lived here. And they weren't going to put up with it, so they decided they wanted to be a free and independent country of their own. And after winning the first few battles, in 1835, 1836 came around and Texians occupied Bayer, and then volunteers from not just what was Texas, but from all states in the United States, 13 foreign countries, including the nation of Mexico, assembled at a beat-up old Spanish church that was 100 years old at the time, that we call the Alamo. And they were there, those 187 volunteers, and they were defiant, because it wasn't long in February that an army of about 5,000 to 6,000 men showed up and surrounded the Alamo. They were led by a 27-year-old lawyer from Alabama by the name of William Barrett Travis. One of my favorite heroes in all of world history, William Barrett Travis. And you must always remember that every one of those people, all of those volunteers from all races, were volunteers. They were there at the Alamo because they wanted to be. Because there is something more important than anything, and that is freedom. And they were willing to give up their lives for what we have today. I have a grandson by the name of Barrett Houston. He's going to be in politics someday. And he's named after my two favorite people, William Barrett Travis and Sam Houston. And they stood defiant, and then William Barrett Travis wrote that letter that has still motivates people throughout the world today. On February the 24th, William Barrett Travis, in the cold, dark, damp Alamo, wrote words to this effect: I am besieged by 1,000 or more of the enemy under Santa Anna. I sustained a continual bombardment and cannon fire for over 24 hours, but I have not lost a man. The enemy has demanded surrender at its discretion and has told us that the fort will be destroyed. I've answered that call with a cannon shot, and the flag still waves proudly over the wall. I shall never surrender or retreat. I call upon you in the name of everything that's good to come to my aid with all dispatch. But if this call is neglected, I am determined to sustain myself for as long as possible and die like a soldier that never forgets what is due his honor and that of his country. Victory or death. William Barrett Travis, commander of the Alamo. And he, like those other volunteers, gave their lives so we could be independent. And so that Sam Houston could have time to build an army and assemble and move to this area of Texas. You know, Texas hadn't won any battles in 1836 except for one in Bayer. And then you had the mission at Goliad, where James Fannin was. And so on March the 2nd, that is Texas Independence Day. March the 6th, that's the day the Alamo fell. March the 23rd, that's the day that James Fannin and his other volunteers were executed. And then we came to the month of April. And so between us and San Antonio, it's called the Runaway Scrape, where Texians started moving this direction because of the invading armies into their state, to their country, I should say. And Sam Houston decided he was going to reach this point. D. Smith burned the bridges so that the Mexican army, the Texas army, was on this spot. Texas army, 700 to 900. The Mexican army, probably twice that size. And as you all know, battles are always fought in the morning. When the sun comes up, then men go to war. But on April the 21st, Sam Houston and his army, they were bivouacked right over here. And those volunteers, once again, remember, they were all volunteers from all over the United States. Sam Houston was here. He had with him Captain Juan Seguin and his cavalry. Juan Seguin was at the Alamo, but left before the battle started, and he was delivering that famous letter that I just read to you from William Barrett Travis. And so that Juan Seguin and his Tejanos, that is a unique name for Texas, for Texans. Tejanos are Texans of Mexican descent who fought on the side of independence. And so to make sure that the other Texians would not mistake Juan Seguin for the enemy, they all put playing cards in the hat bands of their hats. You will see Juan Seguin here momentarily ride through. Notice that playing card in his hat band. And so in the afternoon, about this time of day, April 21st, 1836,
when
the Texians decided
this
to
is when
go
they're
to
doing it,
battle.
but it was the 21st.
In the middle of the afternoon, Santa Anna and his army, well-trained professional army that had yet to lose a battle, well, they were napping. They were having a siesta. Legend has it that Santa Anna was visited by a person by the name of Emily Morgan, a mixed-race individual who was loyal to Texas independence.
She was the Yellow
I don't know if that
Rose.
was true or not, but I believe it. And so Emily Morgan had seen Santa Anna, and the rest of the troops were just waking up from the siesta when the Texas Army came walking and marching very slowly across an open plain. They had the flag of liberty, the fife. A German was playing the fife of "Come to the Battle." That was, you know, it wasn't quite like the Yellow Rose of Texas or the Eyes of Texas. That was a bawdy house song. That was the only song the fifer knew. So he was playing that. They had the flag, they had the drummer, and they come across the plain in the middle of the day and were not spotted. And in 18 minutes, the battle took place. 700 of the enemy were killed, 700 captured, 200 were wounded, and 9 Texians were killed. It was one of the most decisive battles in world history. Military historians say that the Battle of San Jacinto that took place on this hallowed ground was one of the 10 most decisive battles in world history. Because on that day, April 21st, 1836, after that battle was over, and Texas became an independent nation, Texas claimed land that not only now Texas, but claimed parts of Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, all the way up to the Canadian border. And Texas kept that land until it became a part of the United States in 1845.
That's right.
Some say we're going to try to get that land back.
Amen.
We'll find out about that at some later. Be that as it may, Texas was an independent country for 9 years. 9 glorious years. And it is important that we always remember those who gave us our freedom. It has always cost something. It costs something today, for we've got great Americans halfway around the world today, dressed a little different than these men and women that are dressed today in these uniforms. And our U.S. military is representing us in Afghanistan and Iraq. And let me tell you something, just like those Texians in 1836, the military that we have today is the finest military that has ever existed in the history of the world. I don't want to mistake about it. Did you know that Texans that are in the United States military today, serving and representing us, 1 out of every 9 of those volunteers are from the great state of Texas?
That's right.
A tradition that started in 1836 of volunteering to represent the rest of us. So Texas became an independent nation. 9 years. Sam Houston and all of those other wonderful Texians lived before us. And then in 1936, Texans decided they were going to build a monument to that battle that took place on this hallowed ground. And there it is, the San Jacinto Monument. Now, some of you who've been to Washington probably say that that looks similar to the Washington Monument. Well, it does look similar to the Washington Monument. But you should also know, because this is Texas, that monument is taller than the Washington Monument. And just like the United States Capitol that was built in the 1850s and 60s, the Texas Capitol, similar, but of course, it, like the San Jacinto Monument, is taller than the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Tells you something about our history and our heritage. So I want to thank you for being here today. You parents, you grandparents, thank you for bringing your kids out here. Texas has a history like no other place on earth. It is a history that is a glorious history. And how people before us made that choice to give up everything they had for that simple and important and glorious word of freedom. And they did that, and we must continue our obligation and our duty to spread the word and tell the glorious history of Texas. Because there is no place like Texas. And to people who are concerned about Texas, they should understand something too. That our motto, unlike the motto of other places, you know, in New York, their motto is the Big Apple. Texas, our motto is don't mess with Texas. Don't ever try to take our liberty and our freedom, because those are fighting words. God bless Texas, and God bless every one of you.
Amen.
Thank you very much.